everybody, and welcome back to Breaking It Down, the Tidbit series, everybody. Loving doing these.
Love doing these with you.
I'm loving doing these, and the feedback on these has been fantastic, so thank you so much for that. This is, I think, my favorite stuff that we've done. Today, though, we wanted to do it a little bit differently, if you can't tell by looking at us. I wanted to do one today. You told me a story once that I found really inspiring, and I don't think all of these have to be scientific. I think sometimes, an empowering story can go a really long way, and people need to hear that. So this is a story that Dr. Sherry told me once about being comfortable in your own shoes.
Or not, yeah. So I was working a major televised combative sport event as a ringside physician, and we were watching an event. It was very, very competitive. And shortly into the match, one of the guys got clipped, and he was knocked out and went straight back, bounced off the canvas. Yeah. And needless to say, the ref stopped the match, and the whole medical team went swarming in. And so I'm, diligently working on this guy, and all of a sudden there's a guy from the production crew behind me. There's a shadow, and I get this on my shoulder. So I look back, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? He goes, Psst, sorry, Doc, but you got to take your shoes off. And I'm like, what did you just say?
That's
like
crazy.
I thought maybe there was
chaos in the ring, by the way, right?
Oh, there's chaos and there's bedlam. There's method to the madness, but there's all this stuff going on, and you're trying to focus on the person who's down and making sure they're okay, right? So I'm thinking maybe there's gum on my shoes or something like that. I don't know, and I don't want to get it stuck because it could potentially hurt somebody later on. Quick survey on my shoes. There's nothing there. I'm go back to work and get a tap on my shoulder. Hey, Doc, you got to get your shoes off. And I'm thinking, what the hell is going on? So I totally ignore the guy. We stabilize the athlete. He gets to a safe place. I go back to my seat ringside, and I think that the whole episode is over. Shortly after, I'm sitting there, and the guy comes up to me and he goes, you need to take your shoes off. You can't wear stilettos in there. So I go, okay, I get this. Okay. I said, well, full disclosure, I have worn stilettos in the past. I've never poked a hole in a canvas, but I get it. And in complete disclosure, I have taken my shoes off when I've worn stilettos at other events because I don't want to have an issue.
Right.
But this was not the case. So I look at the guy, and, I had a couple of ways I could have handled this, right? I could have gotten explosive and say, well, are you asking everybody to take their shoes off? And so I politely kind of said, listen, I'm not wearing stilettos. And I show him my shoes. I'm like, they're wedges. Maybe the way the camera angle is hitting, it looks like it. It's an optical illusion. That's why I purchased them in the first place. I thought they were kind of cool. And I'm really not thinking
they
about
are pretty cool.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. So at any rate, this is escalating for some reason. It wasn't sufficient. It's like, you need to take your shoes off. So I said, I'm sorry, you haven't given me a really good reason, and I don't think there's any need to, and I need to get back to work. So I sit down again. He goes, well, I'm going to go find your boss, and I'm going to make sure that you don't work the rest of this event. So I go ahead, be my guest. We'll see what happens. And I go back to doing what I'm doing. It was a really hectic night. There are nights where nothing goes wrong, and then there's nights where every event
whole
there's
thing's
something
falling apart.
It's chaos behind the scenes. These things are kind of like theater events, right? There's all this behind the scenes. The actors in this case are the athletes, but there's a whole supporting cast to make sure that these things go smoothly. But at any rate, so I get back to work. I don't really think about it, and about 30 minutes, 40 minutes later, I get a tap on my shoulder, and I go, couldn't find your boss. And I get up, and I smile, and I go, that's because you're looking at her.
That's awesome.
So the look on
such
this,
a movie moment.
Oh my God, the look on this guy's face was priceless. And I guess he could have, bumped it to the commissioner at that point or whatever. I never heard anything back again. But I have to say, I think, that the way to handle this is always to sit back, try to be methodical about it, try to de-escalate these things. And, there is power in silence and picking your moments.
Yeah, picking your moments, and what we've talked about so many times, which is just kind of listen and then respond instead of just reacting. You could have burst into flames in that moment.
Yeah.
And it probably helped out that you didn't.
Yeah, I think it definitely helped out that I didn't at that point. Yeah, it wouldn't have helped anything, and I needed to do what I needed to do that night.
Yeah, absolutely. So, great story.
Yeah.
Big fan of it.
Thanks for listening.
I understand you have the shoes.
Oh, would you like to see the shoes? What do you think? Should I have taken them off?
No, I don't know how you run in them though.
These are simple to run in.
I've always found that amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, incredible. So, hey guys, we're trying something different. We hope you liked it. I enjoyed it. This is one of my favorite stories. Thank you guys for listening.
And thank you for having me on today,
Dr.
as
Sherry?
always. And as always, this is Dr. Sherry reminding you to live each day with passion, compassion, and introspection.
Boom.